Alright, so we're back, and here we are. So it's just my little office table here. I don't really do electrical repairs on it, but my other table is really messed up. So what we're looking at here is, I went earlier to a Whirlpool dryer, and what they were claiming is that there's no heat. So I checked out the elements and whatnot, and everything looked okay. Thermal fuse looked alright, motor was running, but there was no heat being produced. So I checked out the high limits and everything checked out. So then I isolated the voltages that are going to the element to determine whether or not it was something with the motor or is it something from the control board. My findings were that the motor centrifugal switch was producing voltage on one side of the heater, and the other side, which required the other 120, was off of this terminal, off the board. So I didn't get any voltage from there, so I assumed that there's something wrong with the board. The board's not giving power. Now this is the relay for the heater, and this is common, so this would have been L2. And this, I guess, once the dryer starts up, computer board, the computer sends a signal to this relay to close the circuit from the other side of the dryer element to L2. So I took it over. I had to desolder it. Yeah, a little plumb job, but I had to desolder it just to take a quick look at it, to test it on my board and make sure that everything is okay. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit before I put it back in. But what I did do is I tried to retrace the circuit. So we got common, and then we got dryer element, and these two here, this is power, and this is power, this is ground. The way I determined that is I held it up to the light. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see how that trace is branching off all over the place. But yeah, I determined that this one here is ground, and this is the power that triggers it. So as you can see here on the circuit board, you can see that little copper line that comes out to those hole, and that's usually where it joins to the other side of the board. It's actually in a really bad area. It's right in between the relay. Let me try to see if I can get a better thing here. It's right in between the relay and the connector, so that hole there. Okay, I know it's hard to see. There's three holes there, actually. 1, 2, 3. So I know that this hole here is positive trigger for that relay. Now I was tracing it back on the circuit, and I noticed it came. Where did it come here? It came right to this terminal here. So as I was checking from here to this terminal, I noticed there was no continuity. With the other circuitry from here all the way down here, I was getting continuity. Even on this third hole here, I was getting continuity. So because I wasn't getting continuity from here to here, I suspected that this corrosion that's down here in the center, this blue stuff, must have broke away at the connection, and it's not feeding this relay positive trigger to engage for the heater. Now I am going to actually solder in a jumper wire, and I'll be back very shortly. Alright, so we're back. I'm not sure if I turned around the camera, but alright, so we're back, and I double checked everything. I actually made the jumper wire not on this side of the board, but I actually jumped it on the back side, as you can see here. So I got it coming off of there with some insulated copper, and I checked my connections to make sure that it is reaching to the positive side of the relay to engage it. So that's good. I cleaned this a little bit up, not too much. I gotta work on that a little bit, but my soldering skills are not the greatest. Yeah, and yeah, it's showing continuity, and yeah, that should be it. That should be the repair for this board. Might I mind you, this control board is $300 retail, and it was just because of a little bit of oxidization in between this relay and this clip. It's a little hard to pick it up on the camera. Try to get some light in there. Yeah, it's not coming in there. Okay, but yeah, that's about it. See you for my next episode. Thank you.